What's up, my Mind Your Money Business folks? It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market news. Yeah, so hopefully, as always, hopefully you guys are in the market and not trying to time the market because that is simply impossible to do. Again, please forgive the lighting. I didn't bring any lights with me, and I'm in a hotel room, but hopefully you're just listening or you're viewing, just a view. So let's see what it says. It says here the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ fall as Trump tariff threats roar back. U.S. deficit anxiety deepens. It's interesting how one person is talking about tariffs, or the president of our country is talking about these tariffs, and it's tanking the stock market. That's a lot of power for one person to have, right? I don't mean that in a bad way, I'm just talking. But either way, the news says the U.S. stocks fell on Friday to register weekly losses as investors assess President Trump's latest tariff threats and the potential impact of his massive tax bill on the deficit and the economy. Because I think his tax bill is going to add about $4 trillion of debt to our already $36 trillion deficit, which is a lot of money. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average sank 0.6%, the S&P 500 fell roughly 0.7%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ backed off about 1%. You know, all three major averages fell more than 2% for the week, which is a lot. You know, that's 2% from a lot of our portfolios, which is a lot of money. The three indexes trimmed steeper losses that followed Trump's comments on Friday that Apple must pay a 25% tariff on iPhones sold but not made in the U.S. But not made in the U.S. The tech giant has begun shifting some manufacturing to India, with China home to its key suppliers locked in a trade war with the U.S. Apple shares fell about 3%. I have a piece of candy in my mouth. I'm sorry. On Friday afternoon, Trump implied the tariffs would apply to another cell phone manufacturer. Well, would apply to other cell phone manufacturers. Wow. It will be more. It will be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair, Trump told reporters on Friday afternoon. Again, when they build their plant, there's no tariffs. So they're going to be building plants here. I guess he's trying to say you're no longer going to continue to make all of this money with your plants being held outside of the United States, and you're selling the product here in the U.S. and you are, say, a U.S. company. So he wants them to bring their companies back to the United States, in so many words, right? At the same time, Trump threatened to hike the tariffs on EU imports to a straight 50% beginning June 1st. As trade talks with the bloc have stalled. The president's warning shattered a more muted mood on Wall Street as investors wound down to the Memorial Day trading break on Monday. His comments also created another supply chain complication for companies that are already worried about the potential hit to the economy from Trump's tariff blitz. Earnings season has seen several companies hold off from providing full annual guidance due to the uncertainty around tariffs. Stocks have suffered this week as deficits worries pushed up Treasury yields, which intensified as Trump's tax bill forged ahead. Wall Street is still weighing the economic impact of Trump's revised bill, which cleared a key hurdle in the House vote for approval. I'm telling you, people, now's the time to get your money, get your house in order. You need to be good stewards of your money. You need to start telling your money where to go. You have to, be smart. You have to think. So fears that legislation could boost the U.S. deficit by trillions have stoked a surge in longer-dated Treasury yields, which were already in focus after a Moody's downgrade. The 30-year yield eased but held above the key level of 5% on Friday after recently reaching highs not seen since the financial crisis. Wall Street's attention has also begun to turn to Nvidia's earnings due Wednesday after the bell. This year, the chip giant has found itself in the crosshairs of Trump's fast-moving trade policy, as well as debates in big tech over costly AI investments. Nevertheless, options traders expect a lower level of volatility in Nvidia stock after its results next week, compared with recent quarters. I know these day traders, these option traders, are making a ton of money. They make a lot of money when the market fluctuates. If the market goes down, they make money. If the market goes up, they make money. It all depends upon how they place their bets, because all they're doing is gambling. They're making these bets. But the guys that have been doing it for a while, they track the stock. They watch these needles. As the needles move, they place their options trade or bet, and they're given a certain amount of time. And within that time, I've seen people make $30,000, $300,000 off of these trades. But I've never learned how to do it. But either way, yeah, a lot's happening, people. So let's see what went down with some of the stocks. So my information technology ETF, FTEC, lost $2.16 today, closing out at $177.07. Tesla lost $1.70, closing out at $339.34 for today. My S&P 500 ETF, SPLG, lost 44 cents today, closing out at $68.13. Broadcom lost $1.81 today, closing out at $228.72. Palantir gained $1.02 today, closing out at $123.31. And Nvidia lost $1.54 today, closing out at $131.29. Yeah, Apple lost $6.09 today, closing out at $195.27. Microsoft lost $4.68 today, closing out at $450.18. So yeah. That's about it. Yeah, Nvidia and CRM Salesforce is giving their earnings reports on the 29th. And on the 30th, you have Marvel Technology, Grab Holdings, and Gap giving their earnings report. And that's pretty much it, people. But as always, again, as I always say, get out of debt. Get out of debt and gain control of your money, because we're heading into new territory these days, where it's not the end of the world. However, you just have to be good stewards and, again, smart with your money. We make decent amount of money, or we make good money, or some of us make a lot of money, but we're not handling it properly. You need to create a budget. You need to get out of debt, get out of car loan debt, get out of personal loan debt, get out of credit card debt, get out of all forms of debt. And then if you have a mortgage, after you've gotten out of all debt, after you put money away for your kids' college fund, after you ensure that you're investing up to 15%, at least 50, now that you're out of debt, you should be investing 15% into your retirement account. You have 3 to 6 months or more emergency funds saved up, because life will happen, emergencies will happen. The hot water heater may go out, a tire may blow, something may happen where you may need some money, hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, and you can pull that money away from your emergency fund. You need to have that. And then once you have all those things established, tackle your mortgage if you have one. You don't have to have a mortgage, people. Houses, they're not cheap to maintain. So owning one, although it's good, there's nothing wrong with renting either. Just ensure that either your rent or your mortgage, in my opinion, is no more than 25% of your take-home pay. But either way, and then you have that mortgage, you pay off that mortgage, now you have access and control to all of your money, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can create another investment account to invest more than 15% into your retirement. You can give away money if you want, to charities or to help others. You are now in control, right? So when turbulent times happen, you're not as shaky. You're not stressed out. You're not worried, because you have created a solid foundation for you and your family for days like that if they come. Other people, they're going to be standing outside in lines with their hands out because they were not prepared. And yeah, now they're going to have to take whatever they can get, which sucks. But, you know, that's just how it is for some, not all. And I'm telling you to get your house in order. Take control over your life back. You know, the one thing that we've been given that we don't have control over, most of us, is our mind. Because if we did, we would do what's right and what's needed for ourselves and our families. But because we don't have control over this, other people have control over it. The news has control over it. Your kids may have control over it. Your spouse may have control over it. Social media may have control over it, to where you as the individual, you have no control. So therefore, you're all over the place. You can't put anything together. You can't even establish a budget. And it sucks. But you can do it. But you're going to have to fight. To me, that's the hard work. You know, it's not the work that you do at your job. The hardest job, I believe, in my opinion, is to gain control over this. And this takes a long time. Even I still fight and stress sometimes over this, making sure that I think about the right things, do the right thing, because it's easy to do the wrong thing. It's easy. It's more enticing. It looks to be better on the other side. Like everyone's having so much fun just spending all their money and doing all these cool looking things, right? But either way, I'm not going to continue to babble, but whatever the word is. I'm going to get off of here. Have a few things set up today. I'm still in Korea. As you can see, I'm in Seoul, Korea. Today I'm going to work out. I have a massage planned, and I may go out in town. It rained yesterday. I think it's going to rain again today. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get out and do my thing. I'm thinking about traveling more and doing these videos. I remember saying how I was not going to post anything about travel, but I may do like travel and investing type situation, like where I go different places. But of course, when I go these places, I budget for them. Like I have money set aside for my travel. And when I travel, I have money set aside for all my travels, right? There's a budget that I have. I have a monthly budget to where I set aside money just specifically for travel. So when I do travel, that's the money that I use. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing this more often. I'm trying to figure out where to go next. Maybe Tokyo, Thailand. I've even thought of Vietnam. I'm definitely coming back to Seoul, Korea, for sure. Yeah, those are just some thoughts. Let me know what you think, if you think anything at all. All right, so I'm going to close the video out. Not again, but please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think anything at all. A disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I pretending to be one. Any and all information on my channel is for entertainment purposes only, so please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money. All right, so you guys take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.